Before we move on, and I'm especially interested in this just because, like I said, I can relate just, being a parent and, having younger children. My kids are 12, 10, and 8, so my 12 and 10-year-old are almost the identical ages as your son and daughter. Um, how was his interaction with the kids over that time period while he was still in the home? Like, were they afraid to approach and interact with him, or did they try more so? Or
When he was in the home, he was at a point where he was definitely not him. He wasn't all that verbal, um, uh, and he was starting to get angry and lash out. And I left it up to the kids. I said, "Listen, I don't want you to remember your dad like this because your dad was your dad, and he was an amazing father and a great guy. If you want to visit him, I can take you. And if you don't have to." Because I wasn't, to be honest, big on the visiting. I would go. And then sometimes I just sit with the nurses because it was a lot for me. Because they'd say, he's having a really bad day. He's yelling. He's trying to hit. So I'm like, okay. So I would just, talk to them. So I was not pushing my kids to see. It was really their decision. And at that point, they were much older. And my son was kept on debating, should I see him? Should I not see him? And then my daughter was like, no, I just want to remember my dad the way he was. Because at this point, once he went into like when he was going into the home, he had no idea who any of us were. Like if he did speak, he used to call me by his own name, Robert. So he had no idea. And I remember thinking, well, that's nice. At least when he calls me that, I know that he knows that I helped him and that I'm a person that loves him, right? It didn't bother me that he didn't know who my name was or who I was. But it upset me to see him on that decline. So it was hard. Every time I saw him, I'd be sitting in my car for like a half hour crying. And I thought, oh, is this good for me? Is this because he has no idea what's going on? Like he's quite happy and they're giving him good care. Um, so yeah, I did not push my kids to see him. It was up to them. It was their decision.